still here.
I will call to order City Council regular session, March 16th, 2015, 6 p.m. Please join me for the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Janet, please take roll.
Alderpersons Hilson,
Here.
Jensen,
Here.
LeQuee,
Here.
Marty,
Here.
Roseberry. Here. Kirstein has been excused. Mayor Baumgartner,
Here.
Chief Anderson.
Here.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda items? Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, please take roll.
LeQuee,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Roseberry,
Yes.
Hilson,
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Okay, we have petitions, communications. We have Ken Romero tonight.
Again?
I think it's on.
Is it on now?
I think so.
Red,
Yeah, yeah.
you hear me?
I can hear them.
This is an open letter to the city council members, Adams council members. I appear before you this evening to ask that you consider the many factors involved in the recent attack upon your public works director. You will hear an allegation that he committed a personal indiscretion, and that is the primary basis of the mayor's request, not simply to discipline him, but to terminate his employment with the city.
Ken, it is sort of soft. I don't think the speaker's picking it up. I'm having trouble hearing it.
Maybe hold it closer?
Can you move it
Can
closer?
you hear it now? I don't know.
No, it's dead like.
Hear it now?
There you go.
All right. Want me to start over?
Yeah.
I appear before you this evening to ask you to consider the many factors involved in the recent attack upon your public works director. You will hear an allegation that he's committed a personal indiscretion, and that is the primary basis of the mayor's request, not simply to discipline him, but to terminate his employment with the city. I suggest that while some form of discipline may be in order, to terminate an employee with the dedication that the public works director has demonstrated over the years would be counterproductive to the best interest of the city. Talk to the many residents of the city and I would expect you will find overwhelming support of the work that the public works director has exhibited over the years. The public works director is a salaried employee, not on the clock. He is on call 24/7 as the need arises. I trust that all of you have personally observed him report to work after a major rainfall or snowstorm that required immediate attention. He is a manager, and sometimes employees do not always appreciate the decisions that a manager is required to implement. Any personal indiscretion that a public works director may have committed must be weighed against the harm, if any, that resulted from such action. I submit that little, if any, harm has been inflicted upon the city. I would be much more concerned with the public works director and other employees of the city having traveled to Madison to devote days working for Geitz Company in remodeling their corporate offices in Madison. I do not believe the current mayor has any significant complaints with the performance of the public works director. However, it appears she was overly influenced by the past administrator, and that influence seems to continue to this day. The past administrator does have a lot of animosity towards the public works director. The Geitz fiasco has not gone away. It will not go away as long as the mayor allows the past administrator to exert influence on the city council through circus routes such as herself. It's time to stop this needless waste of taxpayers' dollars. As a result of the Geitz fiasco, the taxpayers in the city of Adams will pay about $2 million over the next 10 years and will not bring a single benefit to the citizens of the city. We have paid the Public Works Director for weeks without receiving an hour of service. All caused by a mayor that appears to be currying the favor of the past administrator. Discipline for the Public Works Director has to apply as appropriate. But to terminate a service to the city would be out of proportion to any harm done to the city and be counterproductive to maintaining continuity of management of the Public Works Department. I will leave you with one last thought, thing from the good book, which says, "Let him that is without sin cast the first stone."
Thank you, Ken.
Thanks, Kim.
Good.
Okay, we'll move on to report of city officers. We do have, the let run is still in effect tonight. We'll probably know better tomorrow. We did have a freeze up today. And I would suggest just listening to the news, radio, we'll get the word out. The next question that's been weighing heavy is leaf pickup. The leaf bag will be out the first 2 weeks, starting April 6th through, I believe, the 17th. I think that second weekends for leaf pickup on the curbside. They will be picking up, though, the bags of leaves, if you want the recycle bags down from Ace Hardware and the paper bags. They will be picking those up both on the curb and in the alleys. They are asking not to have them full of your pet waste. Those are quite heavy and hard to handle, so that is out. And also then brush pickup will commence April the 1st and 3rd Mondays. They'll be doing brush pickup. I know there's a couple piles out there now that they are working on. We're waiting. They don't want to get on the ground before it firms back up or we'll have yard damage. So, but they will be picking up what they can out in the yards. We've got a couple dates set for Arbor Day. This year will be April 22nd. We're planning, we don't have all the details yet. That'll be at the Lions Park. Don Kissinger will be here from the DNR with our 20-year Tree City USA certificate. So we're going to try to plan a little bit more activity around that time. We'll have a tree planting, and I know the downtown committee has talked about doing some cleanup and flower planting in the park this year. So more information on that will come out as we get closer to it. So that is it for my report at this time. Police Chief Anderson?
Just a couple things. Alternate side parking is still being enforced. However, I would ask the council that if the nice weather continues, maybe at the next meeting we could consider lifting that enforcement April 1st.
Okay.
So something to be aware of. Also, property maintenance enforcement will begin shortly. Just so you're aware, should you get any calls on it, we will start working on that if the weather continues to be in our favor. And the only other thing is the CIB audit. We had the young lady come in and she's been doing quite a bit of stuff on our paperwork, and she's now working on the policy.
Thank you.
What does CIB stand for?
Crime Information Bureau. And it's connected with the Department of Justice, and they do audits throughout the, what we have to explain is the FBI now is auditing their system, which is a annual, semi-annual deal, and us and probably most departments in the state are being audited. We got an extension. It was due March 3rd, and I asked for an extension, and they gave it to us until April 15th. So I'm confident we'll get everything in order here, and by the end of that, by that time that audit needs to be done.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to new and unfinished business. First, we have introduced and adopt resolution 2015-13R for temporary closing of Hazel Street from Main Street to Southwest Corner Alley. Do we need to read the resolution or just for the record? Whereas the City Council, Common Council has determined that the City of Adams will sponsor community events located in the Lions Park. Whereas these events will require the temporary closure of the street hereinafter described, the portion of East Hazel Street from Main Street Highway 13 to southwest corner of the alley located between Main Street and Grant Street. Whereas these events will require temporary closing of said street from April 15th through October 31st. And whereas closing the portion of East Hazel Street is desired and requires the interruption and discontinuance of the flow of traffic during the period so authorized. Whereas that closure shall be marked accordingly, and the City of Adams shall be responsible for all signs and barricades needed for the protection and convenience of the general public. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of Adams shall give notice of the street closing to news media, emergency services, and property owners along said portion of street closing. Now therefore be it further resolved by the Common Council of the City of Adams of Wisconsin that the following portion of the street be and the same is hereby temporarily closed. The portion of East Hazel Street from Main Street, Highway 13 to southwest corner of the alley located between Main Street and Grant Street of Homewood subdivision in the City of Adams from April 15th through October 31st. I can get a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to forego the second reading and adopt resolution 2015-13R.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Please take roll.
Marty,
Yes.
Roseberry,
Yes.
Hilson,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
McQueen.
Yes.
Next up, we have another resolution to introduce and adopt, and that is Resolution 2015-14R, opposing county assessment proposal in the state budget bill. This came through a league of Wisconsin municipalities, and they're asking for our support. And I will read it as follows. Resolution 2015-14R, opposing county assessment proposal in the state budget bill. Whereas Governor Walker recommends in his 2015 to 2017 state budget proposal shifting from municipal assessment to county assessment of property values for property tax purposes by 2017. And whereas moving assessment responsibilities from the town, village, and city level to the county, which has never been engaged in the assessment of property, will reduce local control and increase costs to the taxpayers. And whereas the cost of county assessment system accomplishing 100% market valuations annually will be on an average $25 per parcel statewide, which is significantly more than what many communities currently spend on assessment services. And whereas the governor's proposal arbitrarily establishes 2015 as the base year for determining a municipality's payment to the county for assessment services, which will leave some communities who happen to be in the midst of revaluation that year paying substantially more than other communities. And whereas property owners will lose the convenience of board review proceedings in their own municipality by having to travel to county sites for board review. And whereas the state's concern over current assessment practices are better addressed outside of the state budget process. Now, therefore it be resolved that the City of Adams opposes a provision in the 2015-2017 state budget bill, shifting from municipal to county assessment, and urges the Wisconsin State Legislature to remove the provision from the state budget. Be it further resolved that the state of Wisconsin, local governments, assessors, and other stakeholders should study how the current assessment system can be improved and jointly recommend a set of changes, if any are found necessary to improve municipal assessment practices without necessarily eliminating the current system. Can I get a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Any further discussion? Does everyone understand this? What we found, we are in the middle of our reval, and it's costing us roughly $26,000. This goes through, well, that's yearly then, an annual assessment that we'll have. So a lot of communities are running into the same thing, and this is something that the League of Municipalities has come together to support the communities. So, is there any other questions? There aren't any. Can we take the roll, please?
Roseberry,
Yes.
Hilson,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
McQueen,
Yes.
Marty.
Yes.
Next up, we're looking at combining the mid-month regular session, April 20th, with the organizational meeting on April 21st, 2015, We do this almost every single year, so if we can get a motion to combine those two meetings.
I'll make a motion to combine the regular session April 20th with the organizational meeting on April 21st.
Okay. Do we have a second?
that.
All right. Please take roll.
Hilson,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
McQueen,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Roseberry. Yes.
And then we're looking also then to change the date or to combine the April 6th regular session meeting with the April then 21st meeting due to the spring election held on April 7th. I think right now we're looking at that we won't have a lot of business to conduct on April 6th, that we could do this. If something should come up, we can always call a meeting, so.
So moved.
All right, we have a second?
Full second.
Okay. Please take roll.
Jensen,
Yes.
McQueen,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Roseberry. Yes. Hilson.
Yes.
Then what we have before us is a request from Faith in Action to place a banner in our South Business Park on the post there. They're also wanting to put one on the other end of the community in Friendship. But on our end, we've talked about it. It would be up from roughly sometime in the end of May until October. And they plan to do quite a lot of stuff during the community during the summer with activities and outside events, letting people know about it. They did come and talk to the committee about what they've been doing and how they've grown in the last 10 years, and I think they've been quite an asset to the community. Just be a placement of a banner. Any questions on that? If we can get a motion to approve?
Is this common for banners like that?
We never had a place to put them before. So yeah, this is new. This is new. But we do have the post up out there, and it's just inside the right of way.
Okay.
This is new.
Uh,
This is the first year they want to do it.
yeah, this is the first year they've ever asked to do this. Yeah. Actually, we've never had anyone, because we really have only put up our own banner over the Centennial. We've never had banners up before, so. Yeah, we would be setting a precedent. It's up to you guys.
I don't see where
Could you-
we're. I'll make a motion to approve the request for the banner placement for this year.
Do we have a
for this
second?
I'll second it.
I guess the only thing I'm thinking about is how many other organizations are gonna ask to put out there and, and you can't say no if you say yes to one.
Right, if you start with one, you're gonna have to follow it.
I guess I just don't want it to look, like a lot of signs out there.
Could you explain what your organization does?
Faith in Action is a group of people that started with, I think it started within the churches, but it has become like a non-denomination group that helps elderly and disabled and people in need get around to appointments. And they do this on a volunteer basis. It doesn't cost the community member anything. Actually, it's county-wide, and they've got a really strong organization. The gal that came and talked said that they went to the state convention, and compared to the other communities, we have the largest membership. We've got, I believe she said, just under 100 people that are members of Faith in Action now in the 10 years, and it's very strong and very active. So, and they do serve quite a purpose for the community. So,
Sounds good.
if you need it someday,
Yeah.
if we ever need it.
It is
ourselves,
it is a great organization.
It's a great organization.
I have nothing bad to say about Faith in Action.
Yeah. Well, and I think we've never had anyone ask before. I think this is a start. Never becomes an issue. I think that's something we can work on.
Yeah.
I guess I would like to see the time limit shorter. It's like 6 months.
It's more months, yeah. So, do you want to, I don't have the exact dates, so all they're asking to put up, we can discuss the date and time with them.
How did you record my
Motion.
Motion, please.
To approve the placement of the banner for this year in the
Oh.
South Industrial Park.
So we don't have a time limit on it, so we can talk about that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So do we have a second?
I'll second it.
I'm sure we did. Okay, please take roll.
LaQueen,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Roseberry,
No,
Pilson,
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Okay. And then next we have approve, this is the amendment to the ground lease for US Cellular. And we got that back right away, and it is section 17 regarding the subleasing. We looked this over, and it does give us some leeway with that. Did anyone have a chance to look it over?
I didn't get a copy of it.
You didn't get a copy? Read mine there. It's number 17. What they added, before we didn't have an option, if they sublet it out to other, what do you call it?
Cell companies. or-
Other cell companies or radio, that way, you know, they're selling that space, we would have an option to have some sort of payback for it, so. We didn't have that before.
Who's liable for the damage on that, if they've sublet it to another company?
They are. Yeah.
Are you looking for a motion?
Yeah, he was just reading it through quick.
It basically reflects what we talked about at finance.
Yeah.
That,
That tells me a lot, right?
No, we talked about it briefly. We did talk about it briefly here too. So,
well, finance is the last Tuesday of the month. Lauren.
Yeah,
Anytime
yeah.
you come.
yeah,
no,
so
that was our concern with
we wanted
the,
language in
with
there.
the other one, so they changed language in it.
That's for that tower.
That they hope to build out by the,
Oh, out
yeah,
here.
out there, yeah.
Does this other one fall under the same?
No,
That's not, no,
that's on private property.
yeah,
Oh, that's on.
that's not like,
Okay.
yeah, that, we don't have anything to do with it.
So they're looking to put another tower out by the radio
Yep.
station out there?
Mhm. Yeah, they've got
What
a
is it?
big land.
Pretty much right next to the old, or the one that's out there.
What's that pay a month for?
1,000?
Well, right now, no,
$800.
it'll pay a regular monthly rental fee, I think in the big one, it's $700 to $800 a month.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
800.
The $1,000 is just to extend it until they get it built, and then we enter into the full blown lease. So, that makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So did we get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the ground lease extension with US Cellular.
I'll second that.
Please take roll.
Marty,
Yes.
Roseberry,
Yes,
Pilson,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
LaQueen.
Yes.
Okay. The next step, approve payment of bills.
I move to approve the bills as presented.
I'll second motion.
Any further discussion on bills?
I
Please.
have
Oh,
one question, Janet, maybe Janet can help me out there. That payment to Mid-America Bank, is that a quarterly payment?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. 16,309 every quarter? Okay.
Any other questions? Please take roll.
Roseberry,
Yes,
Pilson,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
LaQueen,
Yes.
Marty.
Yes.
Regarding the hearing regarding the dismissal of Street Superintendent Dave Bean,
I make a motion that we table this till next meeting.
actually it would be tabled for a minimum of 10 days.
Okay, 10 days.
Do we have a
Second.
second? Okay. Please take roll.
Pilson,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
LaQueen,
Yes.
Marty,
Abstain?
Roseberry.
no,
Roseberry.
Did we have enough then, Janet?
No.
No, we can't go forward with it.
No.
abstain and a no vote.
Pardon?
We have a no and 1 abstention.
And three.
Okay.
You voted no.
Of course.
You wanna change it? You can't go forward.
It's not what you do.
I'm not sure.
Can I vote on it? Can I vote?
It's not a
unless
tie.
it's a tie.
That's not a tie.
Can I change my vote?
You're gonna have to, we went through this last time, you're gonna have to, someone's gonna have to introduce the motion to turn it down, and then remake another motion and open it back up and then vote again.
Okay. Did you hear that, all that?
Yeah.
Who made the motion?
Bobby?
I did.
Okay, you're gonna have to withdraw it.
Okay, I withdraw my motion.
Do we have a second? Correct?
I'll second that.
We need to vote again on withdrawing the motion. Janet?
Okay. Jensen,
Yes.
LaQuee,
Yes.
Marty,
Yeah.
Roseberry,
No.
Pilson.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I wanna know, I want clarification. Are you telling me every single thing that comes before this council has to have 4 votes?
2/3 vote.
2/3.
There's 4 votes.
And you checked with the attorney, it's not who's present, it's on council.
I can't,
2/3 in favor,
Just for that.
All
or
right.
against.
So,
It doesn't make sense though.
Motion to table this
It
until.
doesn't make sense because.
This has nothing to do with, I can see when it has something to do with finances.
2/3 votes.
I don't know if that applies to this type of vote.
Okay, I make a motion to reintroduce this, to table this for 10 days, a period of 10 days.
do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Please take roll.
LaQuee,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Roseberry,
No.
Pilson,
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Thank you. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We have a
Second.
Please take roll.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Marty,
Yes.
Roseberry,
Yes.
Pilson,
Yes.
Jensen, LaQuee.
Yeah.
Julie? Number of communities that have the board,
You've done a good job, Bob.